We begin today's wrestling news and rumors video with a bunch of shocking news and rumors coming out of the WWE's Crown Jewel 2021 pay-per-view event that had occurred earlier today, and we have lots of breaking new information to share regarding some of the big moments that transpired today, and the plans WWE have in place moving forward following Crown Jewel. Now before we get into all the news, we definitely have to mention that Crown Jewel overall this year was actually quite a good event for WWE, despite some predictable or poor booking decisions at some points throughout the show. And overall, Crown Jewel seemed to exceed many fans' expectations heading into the event, as Crown Jewel usually seemed like just a glorified house show, and this year's event was definitely more important feeling. Now firstly, we have to talk about the huge career-defining moment for Xavier Woods tonight at Crown Jewel, with Xavier surprisingly winning the King of the Ring tournament finals against Finn Balor. And by all means, this was a special moment that a lot of fans were extremely excited to see happen, because without question, Xavier is highly underrated, and considering the other New Day members, Big E and Kofi Kingston, have each had a big moment in the way of a WWE title reign, Xavier was sort of left out of the group. And tonight, WWE gave Xavier Woods a big accomplishment, and also a big win over a legitimate top-tier talent in Finn Balor, which is certainly going to help build some momentum for Woods moving forward. Xavier Woods definitely deserves some spotlight as well, and while this is not a WWE Championship, it is a step in the right direction to say the least when it comes to Xavier Woods getting some recognition and a push. Now the question a lot of fans are wondering when it comes to Xavier Woods is, will WWE make Xavier a world champion in the future after this big King of the Ring win, so that all three New Day members had at least one world title run? And according to one of our sources, while this is actually possible, Vince McMahon reportedly feels as though this King of the Ring tournament win is a big enough moment for Xavier Woods, and a WWE title run is not really needed, at least not in the immediate future. Although we have been told that WWE do plan to give Xavier a push following this monumental win today at Crown Jewel, but as far as how big of a push King Woods receives is still a bit unclear right now. Regardless, let us know your thoughts on Xavier Woods' King of the Ring win at Crown Jewel today, and should Xavier also get a world title reign in the future? Let us know. A match today at Crown Jewel 2021 that deserves some praise for exceeding many expectations was the rematch between Goldberg and Bobby Lashley in their Falls Count Anywhere No Holds Barred match. Not surprisingly, heading into Crown Jewel, the rumors basically made it clear that WWE were planning for Goldberg to get revenge against Bobby Lashley and pick up the win. And when it was all said and done, that's exactly what happened, with Goldberg defeating Bobby Lashley after a devastating spear. Now while this was a fairly predictable match outcome or result, both Goldberg and Bobby Lashley put on a great performance, and this was arguably Goldberg's best match in WWE over the past couple of years, with it clear that Goldberg was putting in a big effort to make this match intense and must-see. Now as far as what the future holds for Goldberg in WWE following his win over Bobby Lashley at Crown Jewel, according to one of our sources, Goldberg will be taking the rest of 2021 off, and his appearance at Crown Jewel will be his last of the year. But apparently Vince McMahon does have plans for Goldberg to wrestle again next year in 2022. And if he is able to perform like he did against Bobby Lashley today at Crown Jewel, it is doubtful that many fans will be angry or upset to see Goldberg back in WWE, because it was definitely noticeable the amount of effort Goldberg was putting in, and he overall just looked to be in a lot better shape than previous matches recently. Now we have some sad news to share regarding the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar following his loss to the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel 2021. While there was quite a lot of speculation that Brock Lesnar could have been winning the Universal title from Roman Reigns today at Crown Jewel, in the end that certainly did not happen, with WWE going with the predictable outcome of the Usos interfering in the match and costing Brock Lesnar the championship. The sad news that has been revealed regarding Brock Lesnar is that according to a new backstage report, not only will Brock Lesnar not be appearing in WWE again this year in 2021, but Brock may not actually be getting a rematch with Roman Reigns next year, and instead Brock Lesnar may be returning on Monday Night Raw next year and setting his sights on the WWE Championship, with WWE moving on to firstly Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre on SmackDown, and then potentially Roman Reigns versus The Rock for WrestleMania 38. So that basically means that Brock Lesnar may not even be able to get revenge or a second chance against Roman Reigns. However, we have been told that even if WWE did book one rematch between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns for the 2021 Royal Rumble, Brock Lesnar would once again be booked to lose against Roman Reigns, which is definitely not the best of news for Brock's fans. Now, on a bit of a side note, this Universal title match at Crown Jewel today between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar was quite solid besides the very predictable and lame ending of the Usos interfering on Roman's behalf, and Brock Lesnar can clearly still perform at a very high level despite the year off from wrestling. If Brock Lesnar is not getting a rematch and WWE are planning to move on, this was certainly a good and memorable match between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar to temporarily end their feud on, because in the future there is no doubt that their paths will cross again. Now, one of the big talking points coming out of Crown Jewel 2021, and more specifically the Universal title match between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, is the fact that Paul Heyman looked very distraught after the match ended, and Roman retained his championship. Because when Roman was celebrating the win with the Usos, Paul Heyman looked extremely sad and upset. And while Paul Heyman did not directly turn on Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel for Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman's behavior after the Tribal Chief defeated Brock Lesnar to retain his championship may have some big repercussions for Paul Heyman. Now, according to a new backstage rumor, there is speculation that Roman Reigns may be turning on Paul Heyman and breaking ties with Paul after the way Paul Heyman acted today at Crown Jewel, with Reigns likely to make the argument that Paul Heyman is not truly on his side and that his behavior at Crown Jewel proved it, and that Roman no longer needs Paul Heyman on his team who's not fully behind him. And the rumor basically mentions that if this is true and Roman Reigns is essentially going to be ending his relationship with Paul Heyman following Crown Jewel, Paul Heyman would likely be leaving WWE temporarily and then returning alongside Brock Lesnar next year in 2022. We definitely have to at least briefly touch upon the fantastic Hell in a Cell match today at Crown Jewel between the Rated R superstar Edge and Seth Rollins, because without question this was arguably the best match of the entire pay-per-view, as both Edge and Seth Rollins put on a truly fantastic performance for the fans in attendance for Crown Jewel. Like we had mentioned in previous news videos, heading into Crown Jewel it was expected that Edge would be picking up the massive win over Seth Rollins, and that's what ended up happening, with Edge getting that big win over Seth Rollins in their third match today at Crown Jewel. One of our sources has mentioned that WWE plan to end this rivalry between Edge and Seth Rollins following Crown Jewel 2021, and move in a different direction for Edge on the Raw brand. But this was certainly a great way to leave off this amazing feud between Seth Rollins and Edge.